A wise man once said, selfish people live longer. Yep. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. This is Don't Read My Mind podcast, and this is episode 22. We are here, and thank you for listening again. And I hope that, everybody is okay, family okay, even though we're going through the quarantine or shutdown or whatever you want to call it. It's all for the best. It's all for the best. And I'm going to take y'all mind to a different place today on another side. Some people would say what is it called? Science fiction, horror, whatever you want to call it, right? But I'm gonna take y'all to a different place. My topic today is the zombie virus, and I just want to let people know that zombie movies all the way back to like Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, they always been uh I think on the top of the list of the horror movies that I like, because it's more realistic than Jason or what is that? Michael Myers and all of these people that can get shot 80 times and disappeared and show back up. Zombies always had that. I don't know. It had a lore to me because it just seemed like something that can possibly happen, but like probably under 1% of probably the probability of that happen, right? So zombies always had that connection to me since I can remember. So I wanted to touch bases on. I wanted to do a little digging and seeing that how this virus caught us with our pants down. Well, somebody dropped the ball, but I ain't gonna get into that. But the way this virus basically caught us with our pants down, right? I just wanted to know. Basically, I want to know if there's any way possible that something like this can happen. Anyway, so that's just something I just wanted to look into. And this virus, I like to study things. And if you don't know me, if you do know me, you probably don't know. I like to learn something every day. I know that's some corny shit, but hey, it's just something I like to feed off of. I like that. Oh shit, I didn't know that. That's how I like to have. I like to have that feeling once in a while. So anyway, I noticed how this virus. It seems like from the other viruses, it seems like it takes a little bit of every virus that we got, and it sort of ones it up. Even you gotta understand, some viruses don't look for the death toll. Some viruses just probably want, to get a host. And whatever it do to the host, I don't understand, but it does something. Whatever it's trying to accomplish, it accomplishes. All right. So this particular virus sort of have a person with no symptoms. They able to spread it. That's some evil shit right there, boy. I'm able to walk around feeling good, living it up, smile on my face, and I'm just sitting there talking to you, and I'm just spitting virus all in your face, and you don't even know it. But it's the people that's coughing and sneezing, you run away from them, but you come into somebody else area that's normal, but they actually got the virus. So I had to do some, a little bit digging to find out how is it possible that we can be facing something in the future that can resemble, something like a virus, a zombie virus. Um, but before I get into that, again, I like to thank you for listening. Even if you in a house, you out of work or whatever, it's a whole bunch of other locations y'all can go to, a whole bunch of other shows y'all can go to. And if y'all sitting here listen to my boring ass, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Much love, and I hope that you coming over here and you enjoying yourself. And this will be over soon. It's funny. I say this to people now. Whether I'm talking on the phone to my mother, family members, or friends, and I was like, hey, we just have to get to the summer, or get to the summer. We have to get through April, have to get through May, and June. I'll see you in June. So that should be the new thing. And I think when we get back to work and everything get going again, I think everybody gonna have a different kind of respect for work, for their country, for a couple things. But we have to make it on that other side first. We have to get over there first. So, like I say, make sure your immune system rocking. Taking all the fruits and vegetables that you need, and vitamins and stuff like that. Exercise. All right, but let's get to it, baby. Let's get to it. The zombie virus. All right, like I said, I think I said this in my other podcast before this. Damn near every virus and germ wants to kill us. Shit. Animals. Your cat. You don't tell me your cat be looking at you. Like if you woke up and you was about 3 inches tall, you telling me that cat won't rip your ass apart? Yes, it would. Your dog would too. Everything wants to kill you. Now, the only thing that keeps us from it is, I guess, our smarts in a way, and our height, and us being the form of a dominant, and that's only because we got a certain things that can go to that dominance: guns, knives, all that crazy shit. And I guess that you gotta understand their main goal is to basically either hijack your body or kill you, or shit, kill you while they hijacking your body. Cause you gotta understand, like I said before, your force field is your skin. That's your force field. That's your first line of defense. Skin get cut open, diabetes sort of, decay that force field, right? It's open. It's open season at that point. Now you got your last form of defense, which is your immune system. And if that ain't, banging right there, right? Oh man, you just wide open for whatever comes down the line. So that's the two things that you really got to save your life. So even with a cold, you catch the cold, right? Nose running, you doing all this shit, you sneezing, whatever. The cold wants you. It wants to multiply. It wants to get to other people. It wants to move around. So is the flu. So is anything else that's contagious. That's its goal, to move around. Now, like I said before, people look at zombies as science fiction. Yeah, I give us a chance of probably less than 1% of something like that happening. And if it does happen, it won't look nothing like the movies where you just gotta shoot them in the head. No, it's not gonna look like that. People decaying, they coming out the ground. They was just recently buried under the, and they buried 20 years ago, and they come out with bones, just bones and shit. Nah, not that. Just to the point that you go into you have like a caveman thought, and your focus is destroy anything that see you. Right? So that's not hard fetched. That's not hard fetched from the line that I'm trying to get. But you gotta understand, nature has so many versions, right? Nature will rip you the fuck apart, and you will just go right into the ground as dust and dirt. Probably a little bit of bones be there, but eventually they will, decay away. Um, and what scares me about nature is regular shit we deal with every summer. It's pollen, right? If this earth really want to get rid of humans, all they had to do is turn that pollen count up to the point that it's toxic. Toxic. I could never get that word out right. Anyway, um, that's all nature really have to do. To turn this motherfucker up is just send out, you know, pollen that's real on the next level kind of shit, right? That kind of pollen, you gotta understand, it affects people, it affects my kids. All they have to do is to turn that pollen up. And I say they, I mean it. Mother Nature, trees, earth, whatever you want to call it. All they have to do is turn that pollen up. As soon as you go outside, boy, you be dropping like flies. Taping up windows. Don't let no air get in the house. That kind of shit. That kind of TV shit. So it is possible. It really is possible. So I don't know. My thing is this. Is it far fetched? Yes. But it's not impossible. And my thing is already something that's close to it. And that would be rabies. And you ever seen a dog or a cat or any kind of animal that have rabies? They're not scared of you. Their main goal is to bite you. They come at you, foaming at the mouth and all. And all they want to do is bite because rabies is set to pass it on. I want to bite you to give you what I have. So that's what the form of rabies is. Now, let's take rabies and somehow make it some kind of hybrid. And just add like a airborne component to it, like the flu. So imagine that. All of a sudden you chilling, and then you just having these crazy thoughts, and then boom, you just focused on that person in front of you, and you just want to tear them apart, or you just want to give them what you got because that's what the virus wants you to do. It's sort of hijacking your mind so you can do it. So that would be rabies. But on a different note, it's something that we deal with all the time, right? Something we deal with. I mean, if you undercook food, if you plant in fresh water and somehow you get a scratch or something like that, or you just open skin, and that's parasites. Parasites, they on a whole different level, because not only they lay eggs in your body, they lay eggs in your brain. They will multiply and feed off your brain. It was this show that I used to watch, and y'all can look it up. I doubt it's still on. It was called Monsters Inside of Me. My God, man. It was one chick up there. She was brushing her teeth, and she was looking at her, I guess, looking in a mirror. And at the corner of her eye, she seen something like wiggle out, and then it went back in. Oh, my God. So anyway, come to find out that she had some kind of worm in her eye. Right? I think I done stuck a knife in my shit trying to pull that motherfucker out. Yeah, I can't do it, man. And there was another person, they had them little bugs in their head, and they can just feel the shit crunching on their scalp while they sleeping. Yeah, parasites is a whole different beast. But yeah, it's this, you gotta understand, it's like it's kind of funguses or whatever, right? That mess with insects. And they control their mind, their body, they make them do different shit. And we talking about fungus, parasite fungus. That's like a whole different thing right there. And they all have a purpose. And it's all similar to how, the coronavirus spread. everything is sort of similar. So like I said, you got everything that want to kill you. Definitely the microorganisms. They want to kill you too. Or they just probably want to hijack you, but them hijacking you can have your body go into like immune system override, and then your body start breaking down your organs. You know what I'm saying? So it's real crazy. It's real crazy. But the thing is, imagine this kind of shit, right? Um, you somewhere in what is that? What's that? What's that? Amazon. The Amazon. Amazon, beautiful place. Never been there. Never going. But I see a lot of stuff that's on a lot of images and video on internet or TV. Beautiful place. They got everything there that want to kill you. You can't even lay down on a forest floor, right? You gotta lay in a tree or something like that so the ants won't get you. Not even a sleeping bag. A sleeping bag, you won't survive overnight in a sleeping bag. But you gotta understand what kind of parasites that just live in a moist area like that. You gotta watch out. The food you drink, I mean the food, I guess the water you drink, the food you eat. It's just a whole bunch of things that you have to be aware of. Because like I said, if we have a force field, which is our skin, and immune system, which is our last force, right? Our last, you know, defense force. It's only what? It's only a few ways in your body. Your mouth, your nose, your eyes, possibly your ears. I don't really know about the ears that much. Uh, 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 for guys, probably women too. You can't even pee in the water in the Amazon. They got this little sharp little fish thing that goes up your penis and try to enter your body that way. Come on, man. Like I said, nature don't give a fuck about us. But all right, let's run through a few things. All right, so here go a basic examples of zombie like shit that's going on, right? So one of the things that's sort of scary, but they got a parasitic flatworm, and what it do, it gets into certain fish, and it makes the fish come up to the top, right to the water's edge, to the top, right there by the breaks or whatever, and they sort of swim upside down because their belly has more of a lighter texture, right? So the birds will fly around and they will see, you know, the bottom of the fish bellies. So they can see that from a good distance. Swoop down, grab the fish, go somewhere, eat the fish up. That was the parasite's whole job, was to attach to the fish, make it flip upside down. It's controlling its mind here. So a bird can eat it, and then the bird can distribute, because what's the bird gonna distribute? Bird shit. So the parasite gets into the bird, reproduces in a bird, and it just bird shits everywhere. Now this parasite is spread all over. And then the cycle will continue and continue and continue and continue. And shit, it probably been doing that shit for millions of years. We, as a species, probably only been here for 200, if that. Probably a good 15, living in cities, running water and shit like that. Right? So, then you have this single-celled parasite. And every time I hear single-celled, that motherfucker old. You talk about like billions of years old, because I think they was the first organisms of life on this planet was single cell organisms. So they've been here way before us, and they're gonna be here way after us. They probably look at us as parasites. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what this is, this the crazy one right here. This parasite gets into rodents, rats, mice, And somehow it tricks the rodent's brain to think cat urine. Yes, cat urine. It makes the rodent sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine. Yep. All right, so now you got these rodents just running to cats and shit. And the rodents is like, I mean, the cats is like, hey there, you know, boom, boom, chop, chop. But that was the whole design of the parasite because the goal is to get into the cat. So the cat takes it, uh, and most majority of cats are domestic cats. So they go back home and they do the kitty litter and they scratch and all of that stuff. And by the kitty litter getting dry and all that, the dust goes up in the air. And the crazy part is, a lot of cat owners are known to have this same virus. But it gets crazier. It gets crazier. This virus is actually controlling people too. It controls their mannerisms, their decision making, their risk taking. Look it up. And that's just the ones we know about. Imagine the ones we don't know about. Who's to say we don't have? Who's to say we don't have parasites or germs in our stomach or wherever that's controlling us now? We think we got free will. Who's to say that? You got to think about it. We got good germs and bad germs in our gut, our bacteria, right? It controls your moods and everything. So maybe it's just not one, it's a whole community that controls the human body. I don't know, but it's crazy, right? It's if you just look at all kind of stuff like this and put it in, one shot, man, your head probably explode. All right, let me keep going. Let me keep going. You got a hairworm. That's some kind of parasite, and um, it affects grasshoppers. So what happens is somehow it hatches onto the grasshopper, right? Now this parasite needs water. So it hitches a rod inside the grasshopper. It brainwashes the grasshopper by hijacking the central nervous system, right? And it makes the grasshopper commit suicide by jumping into water. Then once the thing jump in the water, the parasite slides out into the water, and then the cycle continues. So we say we smart, we are top of the food chain, but here we are. We are hard bodies. We are too big to do anything. While you got these little single cell fungus, parasites, whatever you want to call them, been around way longer than we've been around. And somehow, while we make vehicles of steel, rubber, plastic, they make vehicles in living organisms. So one parasite could probably live in a few people. Probably, I don't know how long they live. I never did no research into it. But if you think about it and you sit back, you're like, okay, they are able to move in between bodies, control, life organisms, grasshoppers, bugs, humans. And, they've been around for years. I don't know if they evolve or not, but maybe they don't have to because their way is so efficient. But we keep evolving because we're not just getting it right. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going off the rail here. But it's crazy. It's crazy how um, all of this can happen. And we see it all the time. And we think we top dogs, but it's these little motherfuckers we can't even see. And they running shit. Cause you can have all the money. You know, you could be the boss hog. You can be whatever you think you are. But eat the wrong thing and see what happened to you. Once those eggs start hatching in your stomach, then they get to your brain, and then just like the flesh eating disease, that motherfucker's a beast, bruh. It gets in you and it just start eating. It multiplies, eat, multiplies, and eat. All right, now back to what I was saying about the whole zombie virus. Is it possible? I was just giving you a couple examples on, how nature can create something that's close to it, hijacking of, living things, and it's possible because while we thinking a zombie is some kind of, if you lay it down next to some kind of organism like a parasite or a germ, it makes it a little bit, realistic. It's still 1%, no larger than 1% of my brain that it can happen, but 1% is still a lot. Compared if you add that with time and everything, that's still a lot. All right, so let's break this down. I'm going to use my little brain that I got in my head, right? And I'm going to show you or tell you, I can't show you, not just yet. I'm going to tell you how nature can create a zombie virus. It's very simple. All you got to do is look at the human body, look at the human brain, and you just cut out emotion. Emotion keeps us, I think emotion keeps us separate from other animals. If I see you and I smile at you, I know you, my guard is down. Right? My family, I love them. Friends, you still have that same love for friends. A little bit less, but you know what I'm saying. But you take all away that emotion and it's just kill or be killed. It's easy how your whole life can change or be a little bit different. All right. So this is how, in my head, how it's very simple that the virus, the zombie virus can happen. All right. So say you get virus. I'm gonna say virus slash parasite. It gets in your body, and the first thing it have to attack your brain. It have to attack your reasonable thinking. It have to attack I shouldn't be doing this part of your brain. It have to attack the familiar faces. Okay. All right. So it enhances your natural animal instincts while killing every other emotion. So we talk about caveman shit. I want to beat your head into the ground until there's nothing left. I don't care about the cops. I don't care about what happens after this. I don't care who watching. I don't care if it's daytime. You just eliminate all of that, right? So it attacks the brain, swells the brain up, hit all the little reasonable spots. Then it flicks on some kind of Neanderthal, kind of stronger than human, right? Kind of emotion thing going on. It races the memory, like I said. So when it races your memory, you're already scared. You don't know where the fuck you at. You don't know how you got here. You don't know who these people trying to calm you down. You don't know nothing. And I think fear Fear is the it, fear would drive it more because, like I said, you don't know. You going off of impulse, so your basic impulse been shut down. Okay, so now the virus or the parasite, it tricks your mind, and all it wants to eat is stem cells and red blood cells. Just like the rodents, right? It tricked the rodents to make them think that cat urine was like some kind of sexual thing. So when they smelled cat urine, they wanted to smash out and they went right to the damn cat and got ate up. So it tricks us to wanting something that you would have to go through another. You basically gotta beat somebody or rip them to a pulp just to get stem cells and red blood cells. And you know, you know where to get them from, right? Your bone marrow. So how you gonna get to the bone marrow without ripping tissue? Ripping somebody apart, right? It's kind of crazy. That's the only way to get there. Now the worst thing is the virus becomes like a flu, like airborne kind of situation. That would be the scariest, but then again, I say the least would be like a parasite kind of transferred by like a bite, saliva, blood, that kind of stuff. What and that would lean more towards like rabies. But the virus direction would be more as like a flu, airborne kind of thing. And if that was to happen, if either one of those was to happen, we wouldn't stand a chance. We'd be looking at this coronavirus like, man, it's a piece of cake. So basically, that's how it starts. It jumps from some kind of animal. It's one dude in the house. Probably was eating a bat or some shit. I don't know. One dude in the house started to get a serious headache. Right? Small town. He's in the bed, swelling, screaming, because his head feel like it's exploding. But what it's doing is swelling up. Then all of a sudden, he gets so hot, it burns out the other stuff. But it just leaves one thing working, that animal instinct. All of a sudden, he snapped. He groaned because his speech is not there. So he's like, right? He's stronger, faster. Everything happens because of that. He runs out the house. He sees somebody, lady walking. And he just runs up on her. And he just starts beating her, kicking her, doing whatever. Ripping her arms off. I don't fucking know. Because what he looking for is bone marrow. Now just say if we gonna go the virus route, she gets scratched, she runs off. Her head start hurting, probably like an hour later. She doing the same thing. Slowly but surely, boom, you got a chaos. The scariest one is the flu-like. Because that means the whole town just flicker switch. One person go, next person go. And everybody just fucking going crazy. So, is that far-fetched? Yes, it is. I still call it a 1% because only the right virus had to jump from animals. They got something with deer right now. That's the deer going crazy, looking crazy. If that jumped to humans, that's a problem. Right? Shit, what if the one with the rodents jumped to humans? I don't know what would be make it sexually attractive. I don't fucking know. But it can trigger something in the brain that'll fuck us up. Well, I mean, you got so many. What if it's a parasite that like water? All of a sudden, we have to jump in the water and drown. Thousands of people jumping in the water. That can swim, but as soon as you jump in the water, it feels water. It cuts off your body from trying to swim or trying to survive. You just float down. You drown parasites. The parasite slits out your mouth, and then the cycle continues. This is just my crazy mind, peoples. But one thing you gotta understand: these viruses and parasites, they've been around for millions, some billions of years. And even though this probably won't happen, none in my lifetime, none in your lifetime, there's always a chance that something crazier, more deadlier than coronavirus COVID-19 can happen. But until then, enjoy your life. Smoke those trees if that's what you do. Enjoy that beer if that's what you do. Drink that glass of Merlot if that's what you do. But do it right. Have fun with it. And listen, guys, thank y'all for listening. It's been another episode 22. We getting there, slowly but surely. And I want to thank everybody for listening. I'm Lenny Reed, and this is the Don't Read My Mind podcast. Thanks again, guys. Love ya. Peace.